welcome to Cricket Talkies episode 3. In today's game, we're going to be discussing the fourth match of the Dream 11 IPL 2020, which is the Chennai Super Kings against the Rajasthan Royals, taking place at Sharjah. The second game for the Chennai Super Kings, first game for the Rajasthan Royals. It's been a very fun IPL so far, and so yeah, here joining me today, I have Chris and V here.
Hi.
Hi, V here.
So yeah, let's get things started. So I'm sure you guys know by now the drill. We're gonna start with the overview. So let's start with V. V, who do you think is gonna be winning tomorrow's match and why?
My prediction will be Rajasthan Royals, and because two of their batsmen are in real good form, and they are explosive at the top. So I am going for Rajasthan Royals.
And what about you, Chris? Who are you looking to support?
I am backing Chennai. Simply because actually they have won the first game, the momentum is with them, and Dhoni being the leader, actually he has the last touch. So I'm good. Chennai.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's Chennai. You know, somehow every year they found a way to make it to the playoffs. You know, and they just have not failed yet. They may not have the most wins, but they're definitely the most consistent team. And Rajasthan, on the other end, they won the very first edition of the IPL, but since then, you know, it's been very bleak for them. You know, not too much going for them. But let's see if they can change that tomorrow against the Chennai Super Kings. And so we're gonna move on to our next section, which is gonna be the probable 11. So Chris, we'll start with you. What do you think is gonna be Chennai's probable 11?
Well, actually, I think it will be the same 11 what they played last match. You know, though they are going to play at Sharjah, but I still feel actually they have still the bowling and the spin department as well as the pace. They are covered up practically in every department. So I would go with the same 11.
I mean, last game, you know, in Abu Dhabi, we saw that the spin wasn't really as much as effective as we thought it was going to be. The grass covering really helped the Pacers, but do you think Sharjah is going to suit the spinners a little more? And one thing to note about Sharjah actually is that it's a smaller ground, so it's going to be a little easier for the batsmen to clear the boundary. So maybe a higher score. Chris?
Yeah, it's both. Yeah, actually, the score, what I predict around 180 plus. That's the target, you know. I mean, a match winning total could be around 180.
And V, what about you? Who do you think is going to be the probable 11?
My probable will be the first four foreign players: Josh Butler, Steve Smith, Tom Curran, and Jafar Archer. And my 11 will be Josh Butler and Yashasvi Jaiswal open, Sanju Samson number 3, Steve Smith captain number 4, Robin Uthappa number 5, Riyan Parag number 6, Tom Curran 7, Shreyas Gopal 8, Jafra Archer 9, Makand Markande 10, and Jaydev Uratkar 11. So I have basically covered with all the 3 fast bowlers, 2 spinners,
and an all-rounder in Riyan Parag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, say couple things. You know, Yashasvi Jaiswal. You know, a lot of people are looking forward to him. He did have a good run in the Under-19 World Cup. You know, and I think for IPL, I think he's going to be a really good buy for the Rajasthan Royals. And I think Riyan Parag also. You know, last season we did see him get a couple of starts. I think if he's given more responsibility, I think if he plays maturely, I think he can really convert those starts into big scores and really prove himself worthy for Rajasthan. So I think both those players are very necessary. So yeah, with that we're going to conclude that section and we're going to move on to our next session, which I'm sure you all know by now, which is the MVP. I guess we'll start with Chris. Chris, what is your MVP? Who is your MVP for this game?
My MVP is going to be Shane Watson.
Shane Watson.
Because actually Rajasthan initially they have fast bowlers and Watson always plays well against the fast bowlers, you know. And the grounds are also, Sharjah ground is very small. So I think it will really suit Shane Watson batting.
I mean,
I'll go with.
Yeah, you know, listen, Watson, last few seasons, you know, he's been playing well for Chennai in those crucial games when they need it. You know, he's not been the most consistent player, but when they need him, he definitely does deliver. And so, if he does start delivering, you know, it's very difficult to stop him on a day he gets going.
That's what. Yeah, I would like to go with him. Yeah.
Okay, and V, what about you? Who do you think is going to be your MVP?
My MVP is Josh Butler because I think of all the players playing around the world, is at his best form. So I am going with Josh Butler. One, he's got to keep wicket, and the other one is to do batting, and he's going to open for me. So I am going for Josh Butler.
I mean, yeah, Josh Butler, he's always an explosive batsman. He's a really, really good player to have for Rajasthan. Just he's that reliable opener. And he's been in great form with the England Australia matches. So definitely, I think Josh Butler is going to be a very, very big player for the Rajasthan Royals this season, not just this match. But
Absolutely correct.
and on top of that, like I said before, Sharjah already a smaller ground, more so batting friendly. I think we're going to get higher scores. And I think on a wicket like that, Josh Butler could really pack a punch. Speaking of higher scores, what do you guys think is going to be the recommended total, the par total on a wicket like that?
Because Sharjah was always like a batting paradise. So my maximum score and minimum we should have at least 180. Between 180 and 200 will be a good score, winning score.
I mean, yeah, these last few games in IPL, Mumbai Chennai we saw 160ish, and Punjab Delhi we saw 150ish. Hopefully we do see some high scoring games. And what about you, Chris?
Yeah, I also feel actually it's going to want between 180 190 is going to be the score because the ground is too small. So I think between 180 and 190 could be a decent score to defend. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in a ground like that, Chennai, they have the players needs in the middle. Whereas Rajasthan are more the explosive batsmen. You have your firepower as Josh Butler, Sanju Samson. Chennai have that more balanced team with Watto, Faf, and everyone that can really chip in when they need to. And I think both sides will have a good chance. So with that, we're going to conclude that section, and we're going to move on to our next section, which is counter. So I guess let's start with you. Who is your counter to Shane Watson?
Half late, because Shane Watson has retired from international cricket. I still feel his movement, the back foot batting, is not as good as it was. So I will go with Jafra Archer and Shreyas Gopal. Because Jafra Archer can surprise him with the short ball, and Shreyas Gopal can surprise him with his googlies and leg spin. So back foot will be difficult for him. So these two, I think, has a very good chance of getting him out.
And what about you, Chris? What's your counter?
Yeah, it's very difficult. Josh Butler is right now is one of the best batsmen in the world. In T20 format. And he's in form also. So it's not going to be easy to counter him. But still, I back Deepak Chahar because Deepak Chahar with his slow swing bowling, he might be able to contain him. Again, it's not going to be that easy. But actually, I back my bowlers to contain him.
Okay, and one more thing. If they win the toss, what do you think each side to do? If I'm going to give it to you, Chris, first. If Chennai win the toss, what should they look to do?
Chennai win the toss, we definitely would like to bowl first. Primarily because there will be dew factor. And we have last couple of matches that dew is playing a big role here. So that will also going to affect. So I think that better to bowl first and then chase,
And what about you, V? What do you think?
That's same thing. But chasing will be much easier than batting first.
So yeah, okay. So win toss, ball first. Okay, and last thing, what do you think is the final verdict? We've seen we've seen that you say Rajasthan has a good chance, and Chris, we've seen that you say Chennai has a good chance, and I think really Chennai, that experience they bring, they've been called Dad's Army multiple times as they came in 2018 with a lot of question marks around them. They proved themselves though, and they just passed through everyone and managed to win the tournament. And they cleared all those question marks. And 2019, same thing. Dad's Army, Dad's Army, Dad's Army. They proved that experience is worth a lot, and they managed to get to the final. Unfortunately, they couldn't beat Mumbai. They fell short by 1 run, but still they proved that they have what it takes. Age is just a number. They proved that. And
first match, because everybody thought Mumbai is going to win easily, but again, actually, Dhoni had his major touch, with maneuvering his bowling and other. So definitely, actually, I feel Chennai has definitely a over Rajasthan tomorrow.
And we, as you said, Rajasthan. If Butler gets going, or if as long as they don't play.
I think Rajasthan Royals also have a very good captain in Steve Smith. so he can counter Dhoni's tactics. And another factor for Rajasthan Royals this year is Yashasvi Jaiswal and Riyan Parag. Those two young prospects for Indian cricket is really worth watching, and I think they will play a very big role tomorrow's match also.
Okay, and yeah, let's hope so. So we're gonna be looking at tomorrow's game, Chennai versus Rajasthan. Let's see what happens. But for now, this is us signing off, and we'll see you guys.